No.
Okay. And do you have any idea of where he was that morning?
No.
Okay.
No one ever sees JJ again, but she saw him with Uncle Alex asleep, I guess, but not there in the home the next morning. Meanwhile, let's flash forward to a real big moment in this case, June 9th, and we take a look at the backyard of Chad Daybell. This is his home. They're digging it up, and they find the remains of those two children in Chad Daybell's backyard. So all this evidence, Lori's apartment, Lori's children, Uncle Alex, going in the morning hours, carrying out on September 22nd, carrying little JJ, who's never seen again, and they're all found in Chad's backyard. Let's bring back in the think tank, and let's talk about murder charges tonight. I've been waiting to do this for quite some time. We heard Randy Kessler from the prosecutor in that secret recording, conspiracy to commit murder. Is this a good foundation? Is this a way to tie all three of these individuals together in this conspiracy?
You know, I think it's probably the only way they're going to do it. It's your favorite kind of case. It's one with a lot of circumstantial evidence. It's sort of that old saying of the death of 1,000 cuts. You know, you got to tie them all together, and it gives you more opportunity to talk about all the crazy stuff, all the unbelievable stuff, all the abnormal stuff that these people, this family, did. And it helps prejudice the jury again and think, you know what, if they did all this other stuff, they most likely did that. What other explanation could there be?
Yeah, Jamie, when I tell this story to people and I talk about Chad and Lori and Uncle Alex, I get no other impression, from the people listening to the story other than, yeah, they're all working together. This is a conspiracy. Your thoughts?
I think that it's certainly likely that at least two of them are working together.
Which two?
Which two? Well, I think Alex and Lori, clearly, in my opinion, were cooperating. Now, I'm not suggesting Chad didn't have some role, maybe even after the fact. But to your point, Vinny, this is unquestionable that these parties conspired in concert to kill these children, and certainly conspired after the fact to dispose of their bodies and so on. And, you've left out a lot of evidence because time will not even allow it all to come in, right? And I think the prosecutor is really missing an opportunity here, because I think what I've been waiting for is one of these parties to turn on each other, either Chad or Lori. And until they bring charges, I don't think that's going to happen at this point. I don't know if the prosecutor is waiting on some forensic bomb to drop. I would understand that. But I think at this point in time, it is time to put the allegations on the table and see what happens. If they're going to go to trial on the other felonies, they might as well tack these on. It doesn't make any sense to not engage the parties in this capacity.
Holly, your thoughts about this? Randy laid it out right. I mean, it's a circumstantial case, but these are some really bad-looking circumstances for these three people, one of whom is dead.
I agree with Jamie. If you don't charge them, you won't give them the opportunity to flip on the other. I'm going to make a bold prediction, and you'll probably be the first person to tell me if I'm wrong, Vinny, but I don't think Lori and Chad are going to turn on each other. I think they're all going to point the finger at the dead guy, Alex Cox. And I think that that's the only play they've got from a defense standpoint. And I'm amazed that the investigation on Alex Cox's death has been closed and that it actually was under natural causes, it looks like. So it was a very interesting, bizarre set of circumstances, a parade of horribles that Alex Cox, the person who might be able to flip on both of these two star-crossed, bizarre lovers, has actually died of natural causes. So that was something that I think puts a real wrench into this case, maybe even something that Lori and Chad didn't think would occur and are just sort of riding the wave and seeing how long that really advantages them. But if this prosecutor doesn't charge them now, then that shows a sign that he doesn't think that there is any evidence to support it, and that that's a problem in and of itself. And at the end of the day, that's a fake text message that Chad Daybell sent. I have never seen, and I've seen tons of text messages introduced into evidence and before a jury. That is the fakest of fake text messages that ever was sent. And the fact that Tylee's body was found in the pet cemetery and that her limbs were burned is just, that text message alone, blown up for the jury, going over and over and over by the prosecution, to me is a really good evidentiary basis for a conspiracy charge. So it's time to charge him, prosecutor. It's time.
You know, Randy, Chad,